Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we are doing a TBR video, the first TBR video of the new year. So to start off, Happy New Year everyone. I hope you guys had a lovely time with your families last night and that you guys are enjoying the few hours of the new year that we have had. Yeah, so TBR videos, these are a new staple of the channel. I'm going to do one every month, as well as a reading check-in on the 15th of every month, and then a reading log at the end of every month. But yeah, so TBR video, I did one last month. It was okay. It didn't go badly, but I feel I can improve on it, so I'm going to try to today. So we're going to do two sections. The first section is the books that I started reading last month that I need to finish this month, and then the second section is the books that I want to start this month that I haven't read before. So let's just jump into it. The first book I need to finish from last month is Dragon Reborn. I'm way off schedule with my reading for The Wheel of Time, and I really hate that, and I want to get back on it, and I've been trying to get back on it for the last 2 months, but I haven't moved from like the 70th or like 100th page. I don't really know. Okay, it's the 90th page out of a 700-page book. So I need to step up my game. I don't really like it, but I might have to plan out my reading schedule for the first 2 weeks just so I can finish this and kind of stick to the schedule. But I'm not really sure. I really don't want to do that, but I might just have to so I can actually get through it. I just need to get like 50 more pages in so I can have momentum and then just keep going from there. Because I really like this book. It's just haven't felt the need to read it, which is a problem. So, the next thing I want to finish is The Atlas of Dreams. I've had the same situation with this book as with Dragon Reborn. I've been way off schedule. I've been wanting to finish this for friggin' ever, and I just haven't. I only have 50 pages left, and I need to get in contact with the author to ask him some questions, and then I'll get the review out as soon as possible. Wait for me, I guess. Hopefully, I'll finish it quickly. I might just power through it, you know, the first couple days of the year, just so I can get it off my chest. But I'm not really sure. Okay, the next thing I want to finish is Rent a Girlfriend. I'm halfway through it, more or less, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to really quickly read through it once I sit down and do it. It just hasn't happened yet, right? So this is the next thing that I want to read after the other two. Oh, well, I mean, priority-wise, this is the third one on the priority list, but it's probably the one I'm going to finish first just because it's so much easier to read than the other two. Next, I want to read, what's it called? It was called Gundertaker, but now it's called Monster Girl Galaxy by Austin Beck. I'm about halfway through the book right now, so I need to read a little bit more. It should only take me a few hours to do it. I just need to sit down and finish it. And I have to finish The 5 Trials by Mike Truck. This one I'm almost done with. I'm like 95% done. I just never sat down to power through the last 5% so I could finish it. But I really enjoyed the book. There were some concerning problems with the characterization of the main character. He flip-flopped between wimpy and, you know, really sure of himself. And I didn't know why the flipping was happening. Like, it kind of makes sense within the context of the story, but the way the character feels about it doesn't really connect. And so I had a little bit of problems with that. But it's nothing major. The enjoyment aspect of it is still really high, even with that little bit of characterization that, you know, I felt could have been better. But yeah, that's all the books that I want to finish this month that I started the last month. Besides the Dragon Reborn, all of them I should finish really fast. Within the first couple days of the month if I really put my mind to it. It's just getting to that point is difficult for me since I am not a very schedule-oriented person when it comes to reading. So, now the books that I want to start this month. So, the first book I want to start this month is Malazan, Gardens of the Moon, or Malazan, Book of the Fallen, and the book itself is called The Gardens of the Moon. I want to read this with my book reviews He's doing a read-along on his channel, and I want to join it, so I'm going to read this book. It's basically supposed to be some, like, really high-quality epic fantasy that kind of has those, like, more down-to-earth fantasy feel that, like, Game of Thrones would have, as far as I understand it. I'm not really sure if that's correct, and if it's not, please let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I've had this in my collection for a while, about a year, and I never got around to it, but if my book reviews is going to read it this year, I want to read it too, because that guy really knows what he's talking about when it comes to books. So yeah, this is the first book I want to start reading this month. Next, to get some of the game-lit and harem-lit aspects out of the way, I want to read The Aspect by Ajax Ligon. I need to start this book because I've been looking at it for a while, and he sent it to me a while back when it was still in beta, and I couldn't get around to it, and he sent me the ARC, well, which was the beta reading thing, whatever, it doesn't matter. He sent me the ARC, not a beta version of the book, and then he sent me the finalized product, and I still haven't looked at it. I feel kind of bad, and I want to get around to it because it looks really interesting, and I really want to know who the characters on the covers are. And then I want to read Guildcore by my buddy TJ Reynolds. I actually did start this book a long time ago, but it was only like 1 or 2% of it, according to the Kindle app that I use. So I'm just going to count it as brand new. And then the last book I want to check out is Hive Queen by Grayson Sinclair. Yeah, I really liked Hive Knight, so Hive Queen is the sequel. And I want to really, you know, get into it because I really liked the first one. And I want to know what happens with Eris and Durin, right? I think that's the main character's name. And their relationship and how they evolve. And there was a really interesting cliffhanger at the end of the last book that I'm really excited to, you know, figure out. So those are the harem-lit / game-lit / lit RPG stuff that I want to get to this month. Now, light novels, I want to read Combatants Will Be Dispatched, which is by the same creator as Konosuba, but this is kind of a isekai story where, like, the main character is an evil guy, as far as I understand it, and the cover looks cool, and I flipped through the color pages, and they look really great. I have this on digital on Bookwalker, which is pretty cool. And then I want to read, sorry, I had to find the book. I want to read Toradora, which is a kind of slice of life rom-com book. Deals with this small lolly-esque tsundere character and the male main character, and they have a weird relationship that develops because they wanted to help each other get with the right person, and then they end up falling in love with each other, as far as I understand it, which sounds fun and really exciting and kind of like enjoyable to me, in my opinion. It's like, it just sounds like it's going to have a lot of interesting stuff. Plus, one of my best friends recommended it to me, and I picked it up on, you know, his insistence, so I'm really excited about it. Plus, a lot of people like it in the community, like, you know, Justice R. Stone, and, you know, like, a bunch of people like this story, so I want to read it. And the other light novel that I want to get to this month is Goblin Slayer. Now, I never watched the anime, but I know that it was kind of concerning, but I also listened to the light novel podcast that talked about this book, and so I'm really interested to find out what it's about on my own. I like the cover a lot. I like the idea of it. I want to know why he's just so, like, against goblins, and yeah. So that's really all I have to say about that one. Now, the manga that I want to read this month. So it's actually not much. It's just 3 volumes plus I Rent a Girlfriend. So I'm going to start with My Dress Up Darling. I want to start doing, you know, what are they called? First impression reviews. But I feel like dedicating a full video slot in my schedule to first impression isn't really taking advantage of my time properly. So what I want to do instead is do them in little groups, which might not actually work that well in terms of viewers, but it will work for me and, you know, in my time. So I want to do it that way. So I want to do little groupings of first impressions, like, what would I call them? I don't know, like first impression triplets, where I talk about 3 different books, take less than 5 minutes per book to try to give you my first impression on the story. And so what I wanted to do was Rent a Girlfriend, Dress Up Darling, and Golden Time to kind of make a rom-com, seinen, first impression triplet thing, which might work and might not. So Dress Up Darling is about this guy that makes dolls, or makes dresses for dolls. This very popular otaku girl figures him out and wants him to make her cosplay. They end up kind of like falling in love, I guess, along the way, which is really interesting, and I like that concept. Plus, so many people in the community talk about it. Base Senpai sings this series so many praises, and I really want to check it out and see if the hype is real. Okay, then Golden Time. I don't know anything about this one, but I bought it because it was 60% off at Books A Million the last time I went. And it looks pretty interesting. It sounds cool. It's also by the same creator as Toradora. So I'm going to read 2 things by the same author this month, which is interesting. And yeah, this is the only other kind of like older teen slash seinen kind of mature audience thing that I could come up with out of the things that I have in my TBR shelf. And I wanted to make it at least the first, you know, trio of first impressions all have the same kind of genre at the very least, or kind of central theme to each book. So that's why I picked this book out of my TBR pile. Don't really know anything about it, but it looks cool. I like the art style. It's not my favorite, but it looks pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie. So there is that. Next, the last thing I want to read this month is Radiant. The Manga Sloth has commented on a couple of my videos lately, and he told me that Radiant is really cool and that he really likes it, and I like the character designs. They're very reminiscent of Fairy Tail, so I want to check it out and see if I like it. It's also really cool that it was written by a mangaka that is not Japanese and is, like, you know, pretty well liked by the manga community, which is awesome. Tony Vellante is a French mangaka. France is, I think, the second largest market for manga in the world. The US doesn't even figure in the top 10 as far as I understand it. Although they probably do, because, you know, the English manga industry probably sells a lot internationally, whereas most of the other ones probably would not. But as far as I understand it, France is number 2 on the list after Japan. And the US is very far down below in terms of manga market. So, yeah, I want to check out this book and see if it's any good. I really like the art on the back. And the art inside looks pretty nice. It kind of has... the best way I can kind of describe it is somewhere in between Hiramashima in Fairy Tail and Soul Eater. Somewhere in between those 2 styles, and I quite like it. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically everything in my TBR for this month. I will probably not get to all of it. So that's basically it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you guys have any recommendations or any corrections to anything I said, please drop it down in the comments. I really appreciate it, and thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.